Welcome back to TCMN Outdoors. Today, I want to talk about how do you get into kayak fishing and also how do you do it for under $1,000. So stay tuned.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions, we'll get away. This is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free with me. Let's go, let's be free with
All right, so welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching. Definitely means a lot to have you here. And today, like I said, I just wanted to go over my decision process and how I decided to, number one, get into kayak fishing, and number two, how I kind of made a decision on my kayak, as well as how I did it within my budget of $1,000. So thank you again for tuning in. So I want to start off with why I got into kayak fishing. I've always fished before, never owned a boat or anything like that. Usually fished from shore or went out with friends, and I was looking for a way to get out on the water and start fishing competitively. I wanted to get into tournaments. But I did not have $50,000 for a boat laying around. Actually, I had much smaller than that. I had about $1,000 to get started with. So that's kind of the premise on how I started. I wanted to get out there and fish competitively. Needed to do it for a budget of $1,000. So, but luckily I came across kayak fishing, and it's something where down south, out west, they've been doing it forever. Here in the Midwest, it actually isn't that big of a thing yet. I mean, it is definitely growing to that point, but it's something that once I saw it, I fell in love instantly and started researching it more, but I never really heard about it prior to then. So, when you're making your decision to buy a kayak, there's three things that I feel are going to be questions that you'll need to answer in order to figure out which kayak you want to go with. Number one is going to be what kind of water you're going to use it on. Are you going to use it on rivers? Is it mainly lakes? Are you going to go out on the ocean? Are you going to do all of them? That's going to really help you decide on which kayak, as far as features and hull construction and all that, which one's going to work out better for you. Another thing is going to be, how are you going to use it? Is it mainly just fishing? Are you going to do some of those paddling day trips or leisure trips where you're just cruising around, drinking beer and paddling? That's going to definitely determine, which one you go with, as well as the last one. And I really didn't think about this when I bought my kayak. I just was excited. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting a kayak. We're going to head out in the water. I'm going to catch some fish and, win some tournaments. And I never thought about how you're going to transport it. That's going to have a huge role in your decision. Is, do you have to put it on top of your car or your SUV? Do you have to get a trailer for it? I mean, is it something, are you going to fit in the back of your truck? So, I mean, you don't necessarily want to get a 14-foot kayak that you have to pick up over your head and throw on top of your car, because, I mean, it's going to be a workout for sure. So, those three things, definitely ask yourself what you're going to do. As far as the size of the kayak and where you're going to use it, a general rule of thumb is, the longer kayak that you go with, the more stable it usually is, as well as the better it tracks, meaning how well it keeps itself straight when you're going through the water. So if you are going on bigger water, bigger lakes, or you're somewhere where it's, it's going to be windy and have some bigger waves, those bigger kayaks are going to perform a lot better for you. You're going to be more happy with it, just because you're not going to be, each paddle stroke, you stay straight, you're focused on moving forward rather than trying to keep yourself back and forth. So, And then also on the other side of that is if you're going to be mainly on rivers, you want to do a smaller kayak because that's going to be easier to maneuver, around rocks and stuff like that. It's going to sit higher in the water, so you don't got to worry about cruising over rapids and all that. So, those are things to think about, as well as, the weight. A 10-foot kayak is going to be great for car topping because they're going to weigh 50, 60 pounds. You can pick it up, throw it on top of your car, and away you go. So, definitely ask yourself those questions and figure out what you're really going to use it for, and that's going to help you greatly determine which kayak that you need. If it's something that if you're new to kayak fishing and you don't really know what you're going to do, don't get locked in on one kayak and think, all right, I'm going to buy this one kayak and this is going to be the only one I have for the rest of my life. I mean, if it's something you will, get a kayak that, fits your needs and, probably lower on the price point, just so you can get a feel for it. Make sure it's something that you like to do, you want to do. And then, like myself, once you get into it and start getting serious about it, now it's time to kind of upgrade that kayak. You're definitely going to have to spend a little bit more money. But now I know for a fact that I know what features I need in my next kayak. I know that this is the length roughly, and that stability is going to be really important, as well as storage and all this kind of other stuff. So definitely don't get locked in like, I'm going to buy this one kayak and then I'm going to be done. You will end up upgrading over the next couple of years. I can almost guarantee it. So keep that in mind as well, that it's not going to be the only choice that you have. So with that, I had a tight budget. I wanted to get into kayak bass fishing competitively, and I ended up I ended up deciding on the Feel Free Moken 12.5. It's a great kayak. When I went into it, I figured I didn't know if I was going to do, the whole kayak bass fishing tournaments a lot. And, I had this dream that the wife and I were going to go on camping trips and, do more paddling trips. So that's why I went with the Moken, because it did have the lower seat. It does track extremely, extremely well. It is a little bit on the narrow side, so a bigger guy like me, it's not as stable as I would like, but it was kind of a happy medium in between the, being a fishing kayak as well as a regular kayak. So that's why I went with that. I mean, definitely nowadays, you really cannot find a bad kayak for under $1,000. There's just so many companies out there all producing great products. There is, one word of advice would be, don't go under $500. I'm sure there's great kayaks for under $500, but if you're going to be serious about fishing from a kayak, I would stay, above that, $500 mark. Realistically, $1,000 to $1,500 is going to get you an amazing kayak. Like I said, it just wasn't in the cards for me to get in that price range, so I had to look at underneath $1,000. But there's really not a bad kayak out on the market nowadays, which is awesome. So with that, that's kind of, like I said, that's my story so far. I hope just kind of hearing my personal experience helps you out if you were having any questions or reservations about getting into kayak fishing. It really is a great sport, an awesome community. Also, if you do want to see my kayak, I'll put the video to my kayak setup. It's, like I said, it's not the best video, but it covers the kayak, and I'll do an update on that once springtime comes and it's not negative 15 degrees outside. But yeah, that's really it. Also, if you do have any other questions, please leave a comment. Go find me on Facebook or Instagram, TCMN Outdoors. Happy to answer any of your questions and help you get into kayak fishing. I know I had a lot of questions, and at the time I really couldn't find anything. So that's the whole reason I started this, was to provide some more information to people who are trying to get into kayak fishing and had some questions about it. So thank you for watching. It has been a blast. This is something I'm really passionate about and I get really excited about. So I hope you can see that and get excited about kayak fishing too. If not, it's cool. We all have our own thing, but I am definitely excited to get out on the water. Actually, next week, what I'll do is I'll probably do a video on how to get into the tournament side of it. I know I started off, this is how I got into kayak fishing because I wanted to do tournaments. Now I'm going to kind of go more into the tournaments so that you guys can kind of, if you are interested in that as well, you can see how to get started on that. But thank you for watching. I sincerely mean it. I very much appreciate you guys tuning in and hearing what I have to say. So stay tuned. Next week we'll do some tournament or how to do tournament videos, and springtime will be here pretty soon, hopefully, and we'll get back out in the kayak and go over some more. Thank you again. Have a great day.